The Radio Wammo Breakfast.
Kiwi.
Well, it's Auckland Heritage Month, a month where we celebrate all the various facets of Auckland's heritage, whether it be the buildings, geography, the people. So there's a whole bunch of events. So one particular one that's happening today and also on the 30th as well is a wee guided tour of the Auckland Domain, exploring the geological, Māori and European histories of New Zealand's oldest park. And taking the tour will be Shelagh Coop, who's joining me on the line this morning. Good morning, Shelagh.
Good morning to you.
Now, the Domain, of course, I did not know that, but it is the oldest park in Auckland City.
It surely is. It surely is. Actually, the park was sort of given to the people of Auckland by one of the early governors, and it's sort of around 1840 onwards.
Which governor was that? Was it Hobson?
No, previous to them, a guy called Fitzwilliam, and unfortunately he's somebody who came across and had these wonderful ideas, and then sort of, as they do, pop across very briefly and then go back to England, where he became a weather forecaster.
Really?
And unfortunately his forecasts were always so wrong that he was pilloried and eventually sort of committed suicide. So not a grand ending, but a very grateful Auckland, I'm sure.
Oh, wow. And I suppose like a lot of chaps popped over here and saw how hard everything really was. It wasn't the promised land, so to speak, really. You had to actually to work for it. So you got on the ship and went back home.
You're right.
Yeah. Now, the Domain, of course, the biggest feature being the museum. I always think, I look at the museum and I go, why can't we build buildings like that these days?
Well, actually, that is true. While that is true, there's an awful lot of heritage there, and that's what I want to bring into the walk, because few people know that there was a great big exhibition, actually, in the Domain in 1912/13, and it was extremely successful. I think it was for the first time. And not only that, but it actually made a profit. And with the profits from the exhibition, they were able to build the first of the Winter Garden sort of complex. They built the hot house and then the cool store. And it's unknown history. There are all lots of little anecdotes about the Domain that people don't really know. They don't know that, for example, the Davis Cup tennis tournament was once played there.
Yeah.
Or that the early Chinese had their market gardens there. It's these little vignettes that are quite nice to be told about as you go around on this walk.
And it shows a lot of foresight as well by the forefathers of Auckland City to actually create this green space, a place for people to go and enjoy.
Absolutely, absolutely. The whole area was once bounded by 4 streams, and the 4 streams of water actually were the early source of water for Auckland.
What about the winter gardens are interesting, or the hot houses there? How are they heated?
That I don't know. That I really don't know. But I'm sure I can find out for somebody.
Yeah.
I do know, for example, that the fernery was created out of the area which was left when they took the scoria for the roads.
Oh, yes.
And that the fernery was actually neglected very badly until one of our New Zealand companies, the New Zealand Fern, I think it's the Fern Company, very appropriate, actually gave them money and then sort of restored it into its former glory. The whole complex is just so lovely. Did you know, for example, that the tea kiosk was the ideal home of 1912?
Was it?
I could live there today.
No, exactly. And it's also, you don't really think of it as such, but it's a volcano.
It's a volcano. And the playing fields are the kind of bowl of the volcano, and the surrounds are all the tuff. Yeah.
Right, yeah, of course.
And on the walk, we will be going just slightly up one hill. We always take it slowly, but we go up to where there is a Maori palisade and a totara tree that was actually planted by Princess Tupua in memory of her grandfather.
Right.
There is an awful lot of hidden history in the Domain, and I'm always welcome people onto my tour because there's always someone who will know something that I'm not aware of. who'll correct me in some way.
Yes, there's always a know-it-all on a tour.
Oh, no, I like it. I really do. I really enjoy hearing all these anecdotes because I'm no expert.
Yeah.
I love the domain. I live within walking distance, and I very much welcome sort of going on this tour where anybody can come along and, give me their 2 pennies. That's fine.
Well, it starts at 2 p.m. this afternoon and goes for about 2 hours, and they can meet you at the bottom.
They can meet me on the steps outside the museum.
Great.
The old steps for the entry there, and I'll be around there, floating around there, and I'll be welcoming anybody who would like to join me.
And there's just a wee $5 cost just to cover the costs of making it all happen, which is brilliant. And I think it's a great opportunity for people to not take everything so much for granted. You know, you kind of walk past these places or drive past these places, but you don't really think about them. So I think this is a really good opportunity.
Well, I think it'll make people much more aware of things. They'll be looking at the domain with different eyes once they've done the trip.
Yeah, and that's always nice. Sheila, thanks so much. And, of course, it is happening again on the 30th of September as well, from 10 a.m. till 12 p.m. Right. Is there a particular website people could go along?
I think if they go to the Parnell Trust or the Parnell Community Centre, they'll have all the information there. And certainly we feature in the brochure which has been put out by the Heritage Week.
Great. And parnell.org.nz, I think there's a website as well. Thanks very much.
My pleasure indeed.
Time now on Kiwi is 9:46.